back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to our little community, to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here. Today I'm here with a long requested video. This has been highly requested on my channel for the longest time. Actually, there is a long list of other videos you guys have requested from my channel that I really still need to get around to filming. There are so many video ideas, you guys, and so little time to film them, but I'm finally here filming my top Gourmand fragrances in my collection. If you guys want to see what my picks are, please keep watching. So what are Gourmand fragrances? Gourmand fragrances are fragrances that smell delicious, really. They smell edible. You feel like you want to eat the person wearing them, you know, eat the fragrance, because there's a gourmand quality to it, some food-like, you know, touch to it. There are notes and accords in the fragrances that are gourmand, that smell edible. So in my collection, I have quite a few gourmand fragrances, you guys. I have almost 300 perfumes, over 250 for sure. I need to count that again. The last time I counted, it was well over 250. So I have a ton of gourmand fragrances in my collection, but I picked some of the top ones in my mind that are very much gourmand. Some of these fragrances may not be listed or categorized as a gourmand fragrance. It could be an oriental vanilla, it could be an oriental fragrance. Most of the gourmand fragrances start out as oriental fragrances, and there are some floral fruity gourmands as well. Most of these fragrances start out oriental fragrances, but then there are additional gourmand notes that are added to it that make them very edible, very gourmand. For example, it could be cacao, whipped cream notes, marshmallow, that sort of edible notes, you know. So some of them, you know, even though they're gourmand fragrances, I mean, they smell edible, they may not be categorized as that by the fragrance house. It may not be listed as that on websites, but they're still gourmand fragrances because they smell edible. And gourmand can be subjective too. Like, for example, some fragrances like Guerlain, Spiritueuse de Vanille, they have very heavy dose of vanilla. Usually just, you know, having vanilla doesn't make a perfume gourmand per se, but when it's like a really heavy dose of vanilla and maybe there's like tonka bean added to it, they can smell very delicious, you know, and edible. Then they could be categorized as gourmand fragrances. So let's get to the list. So my first pick is an all-time favorite of mine. This is up there, you guys, top 10 for life. This fragrance right here, this is so delicious, so amazing. It's a masterpiece. This is from the house of Lancome. It's from the Maison Lancome line. It is Maison Lancome Oud Bouquet. So I have the old 2014 formulation and I have the latest, the 2016 new formulation here. There's a subtle slight difference between the two of these, and I did a video on that. I'll link it up here. This is the same fragrance, but the new one has more woody notes to it, a couple of more woody notes added to it, and there's more differences. Check that video out if you want to know the differences. I mean, oh, you guys, I don't have to, by the way, spray this fragrance. You can smell it from here. It's a very powerful fragrance. Every time I open this fragrance and smell it, I go, rah. It's a rose fragrance. It's a rose and oud fragrance. It's a rose oud combo, the very popular rose oud, but this is a very unique rose oud. It's a very syrupy rose oud fragrance. This is a very syrupy rose. This has rose, this has oud, this has guaiac wood, cacao wood, and then there's praline in here, there's vanilla. It is just delicious, you guys. This is a very sweet rose oud, balsamic, vanilla, kind of lactonic, nutty, powdery, woody fragrance. Just love it, you guys. It's delicious, and this one is even slightly more delicious, if you ask me. They smell slightly different. I would say the original smell even more oriental than the new one. The old one it's just my favorite, you guys. There's, you know, less woody notes in this than the new formulation. This is even more delicious, if you ask me. I could just spread it on a bread and eat it up. It's so freaking delicious. Love this fragrance. Now my nose is gonna smell like this. Like, if you get even the slightest bit on your skin, you guys, you don't have to spray it. You will smell like it all day long. It is a very jammy rose. My mouth is watering. I'm salivating because that's how delicious this is. Like I said, every time I open the cap and smell this fragrance, I go, rah. Fragrances that make me bark, you know, seriously, because it's so delicious. And that's one of the few ones that do that to me in my fragrance collection. Like I said, this is technically an oriental woody, but it smells delicious, so that makes it a gourmand fragrance. That's Lancome Oud Bouquet. And then next I have another delicious beauty that just recently came out. It is none other than Angel's Share by Kilian. Oh my god, this, see, makes me want to bark, want to eat it, just want to take a bite out of it. This is technically, like I said, this is an oriental vanilla. There's a heavy dose of vanilla in here. This is a boozy vanilla. This has, you know, this is a very delicious boozy vanilla fragrance that is so yummy. When I think of Gourmand, I think of this fragrance among other top ones that I love. This is has a very boozy opening, has cognac in the opening. This is cinnamon, tonka bean, vanilla, praline, sandalwood, and oak. The vanilla with the tonka bean in here and the praline notes, you know, with a little bit of the boozy quality, really makes it delicious. It's a very sweet, aromatic, woody, vanilla, warm, spicy, powdery, amber, cinnamon, lactonic fragrance. So this is Angel's Share by Kilian. Next I have a delicious gourmand fragrance here, you guys. This is Boss Private Accord for her. This is a delicious chocolatey, orangey heaven. Smells so delicious. This is an oriental gourmand fragrance. It's actually listed as an oriental gourmand. This has cacao in it, coffee, there's tonka bean, there's orange. So this smells like, I've heard Jeremy Fragrance say this, and he's right. This smells like orange dipped in chocolate. Those candies, you know, orange, chocolate dipped oranges. It smells like that. I believe there's osmanthus in here too. This is a very sweet cacao, warm, spicy, vanilla, fruity, citrus, coffee, floral, amber fragrance. Boss Private Accord for her. Next I have a cult favorite Kilian fragrance for you guys. This is Black Phantom by Kilian. I have the older packaging. I bought this a long time ago. Ah, yummy. Delicious. This is a very boozy, chocolatey, caramelly, almondy, sweet fragrance. Delicious. This is technically an oriental vanilla. Black Phantom by Kilian. Next I have one of my favorite vanilla fragrances in the world, you guys. Now I'll be doing a top 10 vanilla fragrances. Spoiler alert, this will be in it, because when I do my vanilla top 10, I want it to be vanilla dominant fragrances, and this is one of them for sure. This is Guerlain Spiritueuse de Vanille. I love this fragrance. This is from the private collection of Guerlain, the more expensive line. This is such a delicious vanilla, you guys. Such a yummy, edible vanilla. So the main accord in this is vanilla. There's a huge, huge, heavy dose of vanilla. If you're a vanilla lover, there's your heaven right there. The vanilla is the most dominant, biggest accord, the top accord. It's a very sweet vanilla, warm, spicy, soft, spicy, balsamic, woody, powdery, smoky scent. So gorgeous. I mean, this is such a delicious, delicious vanilla fragrances. I want to eat it. So it's definitely a gourmand fragrance and a very delicious vanilla at that. I would say this is in my top vanilla fragrances. The main dominant note is vanilla in here. Guerlain Spiritueuse de Vanille. Next I have a very popular, very delicious fragrance by Tom Ford. This is Tom Ford Lost Cherry. This is a delicious gourmand cherry fragrance. This is boozy cherry almond heaven. I want to take a bite out of it. This is a very sweet cherry almond, nutty, fruity, vanilla, amber, warm, spicy, woody fragrance. This has like huge doses of cherry on top and middle both. You get cherry in here. There's bitter almond, there's liquor, a lot of sweet notes on the bottom. There's like tonka bean, there's vanilla, there's benzoin, and there's a spiciness from the cinnamon, the cloves. Oh, this is just delicious. One of my favorite cherry fragrances in the world. This is actually categorized as an oriental floral, but it smells delicious, therefore a gourmand. Tom Ford Lost Cherry. Next I have a delicious creation by Givenchy. This is Givenchy Live Irrésistible Délicieuse right here. I just recently hauled this. I will link that video up here. This is a delicious fragrance with a delicious opening. This is a very sweet cherry, almond, vanilla, fruity, nutty fragrance. There's a French pastries note in the top, and then there's cherry in the top. It has rose, orange blossom for floral notes, and in the bottom it has like caramel, vanilla, bitter almond, and then there's I think orange root. So it's very delicious with that caramel, vanilla, the French pastry, the cherry. Very delicious fragrance. This is a floral fruity gourmand fragrance. Next I have a delicious hazelnut chocolate by Thierry Mugler. This is Angel Muse by Thierry Mugler. It's categorized as an oriental vanilla. There's a hazelnut cacao spread note in here, I think in the middle, that makes this so delicious. It's a very sweet, chocolatey, woody, nutty, balsamic, aromatic, warm, spicy, earthy, patchouli citrus scent. This has like a citrusy pink pepper opening, and then there's that hazelnut cacao in the middle. I think you get some earthy notes, you know, patchouli, vetiver on the base, but that hazelnut cacao makes this very delicious. Angel Muse by Thierry Mugler. Next I have a masterpiece from a Middle Eastern fragrance house, you guys. This is delicious. This is a must-have in your perfume collection. This is from the house of Swiss Arabian. It's Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. This is a delicious caramel apple fragrance. Projection and sillage and lasting power of this fragrance is out of this world. Middle Eastern houses tend to make fragrances that are beast mode, you guys. They are amazing. This is affordable as well. I mean, really, you are getting top quality for an affordable price. This is a must-have in your collection. Very fruity, caramel, sweet, amber, woody, musky, powdery, balsamic, fresh, and slightly green perfume. It comes from that green apple note in the top. So in the top, you get like green apple and grape, and in the middle you get some woody note and patchouli and iris, which gives it that powdery quality, and in the base you get the caramel, giving it that gourmand quality, the edible quality. This is an oriental perfume, you guys. Like I said, a lot of the oriental perfumes, you know, when you add those gourmand notes to it, become gourmand fragrances. So this is one of them. Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. Next I have an amazing creation by Giorgio Armani. This is the Armani Code Satin. I've talked about this in my channel several times. This is one of my favorite fragrances. Nighttime wear, you know, for any occasion, you know, partying, going out, clubbing, date night. Very nice fragrance. It smells delicious. There are some delicious gourmand notes in here. There's cacao, praline, vanilla in here that's just makes it smell so yummy and edible. Oh, deliciousness. I think in the opening you get like pear, sorbet, and ginger. In the middle you get a bunch of white florals like orange blossom, jasmine, and stuff. And then in the base you get all the gourmand notes, praline, cacao, vanilla, and then there's patchouli, I think, for lasting power. It's categorized as a floral, fruity gourmand. It's a very sweet cacao, vanilla, warm, spicy, lactonic, white floral, fresh patchouli fragrance. Ah, so delicious. I love wearing this on date night, for a night out. Amazing fragrance, delicious. This is Armani Code Satin by Giorgio Armani. Next I have a very much a delicious gourmand fragrance that's unfortunately discontinued, but I still had to throw it in here because this is very clearly a very delicious gourmand that I love in my collection. This is Fève Délicieuse by Christian Dior. This has a ton of gourmand notes in here, you guys. There's praline, there's caramel, there's cacao, there's tonka bean, there's vanilla in this fragrance that make this so delicious. In the top you get some fresh notes like bergamot, mint, and lavender. In the middle you get cherry, jasmine. In the base you get a bunch of gourmand sweet notes, you guys. There's caramel, there's cacao, there's tonka bean, there's vanilla, there's benzoin, and there's milk in here. And then you get a few woody notes. There's sandalwood, cedar, and there's like a leather note in there too. It's a very sweet cherry, vanilla, cacao, caramel, amber, warm, spicy, lactonic, nutty fragrance. It's probably not for everyone. It's not a mass appealing fragrance. It's not a safe blind buy. Like I said though, it's unfortunately been discontinued, but will always love this fragrance. It's a delicious gourmand in my mind. It's got some delicious gourmand notes in the base. It's technically categorized as an oriental vanilla, but it's a delicious tonka bean, cacao, caramel, vanilla deliciousness. It's an amazing gourmand. Fève Délicieuse by Christian Dior. Hey guys, those are the top gourmand fragrances in my collection. I have a lot more gourmands in my collection. I think these are my top favorite gourmand fragrances in my collection. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload. I will see you guys in my next video.